Okay, well, thank you so much for having us. We feel really honored. And if it's okay, I'd just like to start. Since your last album, Humanoid, was released in 2009, 5 years have passed. And 10 years since Schrei. What has changed for you in those 5 years? And how was the process of recording different this time?
So I think the main difference between all the previous albums and this album is that we produced everything on our own by ourselves. We had an own home studio, which we never had before. So the whole process was just very different because this time we had no time limit or anything like that. We had no time limit or anything like that. So we were just in our studio and writing and making music without even knowing when we're gonna put it out. So we just wanted, the goal with this album was just to make an album that we love and to make songs that we love and feel comfortable with, and just to make an album that we are totally happy with. And
but I feel like everything changed. It's like as you said, like our first album is like 10 years old, and of course, like in 10 years, a lot of stuff happens. I mean, we were 15, now we're 25, and like the whole band, I think develops and everything changes in terms of songwriting, producing records, playing together as a band, growing as artists, as songwriters, as producers. Like all that stuff changes in 10 years, and I think the only guy that made no development at all is Georg, and
stay young and fresh.
He's still a bad bass player, and but except that, I think everything changed, and that's
But naturally, yeah.
But that's how it should be. I mean, it would be horrible if like a band would stay the same and if we would still be as bad as we used to be with 15, like in terms of, instruments and playing together as a band and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, but it's just really great how you guys have also stuck together over those years. I mean, a lot of bands, especially when they're so young, you don't really know what's ahead of you, and you have had so many experiences. And why do you think the reason is that you're still together? Like, what binds you as a band?
I think it's just because we grew up together. Yeah. I mean, we are just friends, and we got to know each other because we lived in that small little town. And they were the only other musicians in our age, and so we just met up and we became friends.
I mean, when we were 15 and we released the first record, we were already a band for 5 years. Yeah. Like we were together for 5 years, and
so we just know each other for such a long time, and I feel like we are such close friends, and I don't know, it's just like a family. I don't know. It's just like for us, I think we're never gonna get to the point where we like fight so much that we can't look each other in the eye. Like we know exactly, the line, and when we cross the line with each other, and sometimes we want to do that, and sometimes we don't, and we can fight, and then we can forget about it in the next seconds. It's really like we are brothers, and we know each other very well. So I think that's why it works out for such a long time.
Yeah, and when your family moved to LA and during your time in California, did you pursue any other artistic pursuits, or did you just focus on your music, or did any one of you start up painting or something?
No, I don't know. I think we kind of like concentrated on music when Bim moved out to LA, but that's the same thing. Like we moved out to LA and everybody keeps asking us like, oh, how is that for the band? Because the other two guys stayed in Germany, and how does that work out as a band? And especially when you work on a record together. And it's like, but it's the same thing. I feel like if you can only do that when you're really close, and when there's no question about like splitting up as a band, or like doesn't make it complicated or weird, in any kind of relationship between you guys when two of you guys live in a different continent. And no, I mean, for us it totally worked out, and we concentrated on music. I think Bill is always into fashion a little bit, and tries to make some fashion. But except that, I think we really concentrated on music and progress in the studio and songwriting and producing.
And when you look back at your time in LA, what were your favorite moments, and what place do you consider your home?
I think now we feel, to be honest, I feel like I can move to a different country and a different city tomorrow, and as long as I have, my dog and my brother and my family with me and some friends, I feel home right away. I feel like that's because we grew up traveling, so because I remember Tom and me had our first own apartment when we were 15, so we moved out with 15, and then and then we were on the road for such a long time. So I don't know. I feel like I can feel home very easily.
Yeah.
Right now, it's definitely LA for us. But that can change.
But that really it doesn't have anything to do with the country or city we're living in. It's pretty much just like the house and what happens in the house.
But what we loved about LA is that the freedom. I mean, there was really, and that influenced the whole album a lot. That we could just be normal people and walk and be outside and drink a coffee, just like normal life. And we enjoyed that a lot. Like for a year we didn't do anything. We were just having fun and living life, to even get inspired for new music. So
I believe that must have been very refreshing.
There was such a big difference, and it was so nice. I feel like it was the first time in years that we could just be on our own and do stuff on our own.
But when you were able again to go out and just have a coffee, didn't it at first feel a little weird?
Oh yeah, at first you like turn around and you can't really believe that like no one's following you and you don't need a security and
it still is a little weird. I mean, I'm still a little bit under pressure.
Paranoid.
Like I'm still like, I mean, I'm more relaxed at home than I'm when I order Starbucks coffee. Like I'm always still a little, I don't know, still
it's a little
a little uncomfortable.
He's socially awkward.
Yeah, I'm socially awkward.
Yeah.
Totally.
But when you return to your hometown Magdeburg now, how does it make you feel?
Oh, that feels so strange. I remember the first time we went back and we were visiting some of our, old friends and family, and it felt like a completely different life. It feels like I'm going back like 100 years.
Yeah.
It's like it's crazy.
Life.
It feels so different, and everything seems so much smaller. I don't know. It's maybe because we are so much taller now. But it's like it's definitely weird. Yeah, a lot of memories, but it feels like a completely different life. It feels like there's so much that happened in between, and it did. I mean,
but I think it's pretty much the same for everybody. I mean, everybody that who moved out of the home city or house of the family and went to another city and started a new life, kind of job wise or whatever. It always feels weird to go home
But I don't have that. I don't have that connection. Like I don't have, and I never had that even when I lived there. Like I never had that connection with the city or the school I was in or anything like that. I was never like cheering for my home village or my home city or my school, because a lot of people did that, and for me it never felt that way. I always felt like I don't belong there. I always felt like I have to be here right now, but I don't belong here.
It's
so
different
it was
with them though.
Yeah, we still live in Magdeburg.
Yeah,
they still love it.
So do you still find a way to connect to the city as well now that you live there?
I mean, all my family and friends live in there, so that's my biggest connection, I guess. Yeah.
But don't you sometimes get the feeling that you have changed so much and everything and everyone there remained the same?
Kind of, but kind of.
Can be good or bad.
But we travel a lot, so it's for me. It's like a place to calm down and just be with my family and go take a walk with the dog. Everything is really like relaxed there, and for me, it's perfect.
Well, now our age is becoming even more and more digital. And how have you, wanting to hide away a little and get away from everything, dealt with the rise of social media?
Yeah, I remember that in the beginning we were trying, or we were not, doing the whole thing at all. Like we had no Facebook, we had no Twitter, no nothing. because I thought maybe it's just like something that's popular right now and it's gonna go away, and I was like, you know, like we were.
He was hoping, it's gonna last.
Yeah, it's not gonna. Yeah, so we were not really doing it also to like protect the last tiny bit of our private life, and I didn't understand the whole thing in the beginning. I was like, why is everyone giving the last piece of their privacy away? Like, I didn't understand.
I didn't
that
get
at
anything.
all.
I mean, I was like, why do people share music for free and like, all that kind of stuff? I mean,
but now, like, of course, it changed, and we got into it also because you have to. I mean, there's no way around. So we had to like confront ourselves with that, and it's fun for sure because there are so many, you know, positive sides because you have your own, like, you know, media to like connect to your fans and talk to your fans like right away without having stupid tabloids or someone else talking bullshit. So you can like actually communicate with your fan base right away, which is great. So I use Instagram a lot. I love Instagram. For me, that's the most fun. Yeah, and it definitely has good sides as well. I think we still have a line, like, you know, some people post stuff where I just can't believe. I'm like, oh, you know, what the fuck. But like, so for us, there's definitely a line, like we don't share everything. But also, like, we have Tokyo Hotel TV. We like to take our fans on, you know, our journey and show them what we do and show them the background and a little bit of our life, and that's fun.
But you know, when Tokyo Hotel first really took off, all those platforms were basically completely non-existent.
yeah.
And are you glad that was the case, especially considering the privacy that you lost so fast? And do you think you would have rather gotten famous during the times with social media or without it? Like, what is your opinion?
I think it's both. I think like when we started, like all these things and MySpace and YouTube, and they just kind of like started. Everything was so new. So, and we were using that. We started Tokyo Hotel TV, and we were starting to use those things, and that was really helpful. Like, people loved it, and we were like one of the first bands having like this daily, you know, podcast and showing the people what we do, and that was fun, and it definitely helped us even before that, as like a super young band, to just have a website and, you know, have all that kind of stuff. Nowadays I feel like it's way more complicated for like, you know, for like newcomer, because there's so many people. I mean, everyone's sharing their music. There's so many songwriters on YouTube. I mean, to become a YouTube star, I think it's impossible.
But
now.
I think the whole thing, like the whole social media and everything online, and that it got so big, it makes it more difficult for everybody. I mean, every performance you do, you have to be super nervous because, like, I mean, like, you know, 10 years ago we would perform, or 7 years ago we would perform in Japan, and we know, like, if we fuck it up here, nobody will know in Europe. Yeah. You know? But today it's like if you suck on a concert, everybody will know because it's you know.
We do something on stage, and I go off stage, backstage, and I turn on my phone, and it's already everywhere. So it's like crazy how.
So it's like it helps, and it has a lot of like ups and downs. I mean, there are so many positive things about it, and also a lot of negative things. I mean. It got way more complex in general, I think. Like you know, a couple of years ago was so different. I mean, we had also like promotion-wise too. Like if you have a new record, we would go to, I don't know, we had like, there was so much stuff on TV, like MTV, Viva, you know, Top of the Pops and whatever. Like there was
so many
stuff,
music shows.
So many music shows and so many award shows too. And I feel like it's not existing anymore. Like all the, you know, channels are gone. You don't have the music TV anymore, and it's everything changed. Like now you do a lot of stuff online, and everything goes global right away. It's crazy.
But you know, this hasn't changed as not just professionally, but also personally. I mean, all those new channels and those new platforms. How do you think, especially for you as people, not as musicians, how has it changed the way that you interact with people, that you favor things, and especially, you know, that you love, basically? Like, how do you handle your relationships?
I don't feel like it changed at all for me. Did it? Right? No. I mean, I don't think so. I mean, Tom is really, I have to say, Tom is like really old school with like everything. He's not like on his phone. He's just texting and making phone calls, and that's pretty much it. I feel like you don't have like a single app. You don't follow like a lot of blogs. You're like he's very old fashioned in that way.
Yeah, but yeah. It's just like, I mean, I want to take the chance, by the way, and just want to say that, follow me on Instagram. I have an amazing Instagram account. It's Tom Carlitz on Instagram. I haven't uploaded any picture yet, but I will if I have enough followers. So my goal is like, I want to be the guy with the most followers of the band without uploading any picture. And then, like, after I reach that, I may upload a picture.
One picture.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, like because you got famous really early, really, really fast, do you sometimes feel like that you missed out on some experiences? Or are there even some experiences that you're really, really glad that you missed?
Yeah.
I feel like we just lived a completely different life than, all our friends. And we still have friends from school and people we know from that time. And looking at them, it's just like, it's just such a different life, and it's crazy. I'm glad I didn't have to like finish school and study, because that was the worst for me, and I just wanted to get out as soon as possible. So I'm glad I didn't have to like study something stupid I didn't want to do.
Yeah, I mean, I think that part of like getting up like really early in the morning and in the rain and going to whatever school or study or like learn a certain job or something like that. I mean, that's definitely a part. Like I would have hated, and I'm glad that we missed out on that.
On the other hand, of course, we missed, like, that's what I'm saying, like, Tom is a little socially awkward, like, we were just very, like, guarded, and we were, and we also did that by ourselves, like, we were, we just had a small group of people we trust and a small group of people we interact with on, like, daily basis. We had to take a lot of responsibility very early, which we wanted to do. Because with 15 I thought, like, I'm so old, I can handle everything, I don't want anyone to tell me anything. So we really wanted to be in charge of everything. But now looking back, I feel like I should have waited a little longer, because like there's, life is pretty long and you have a lot of responsibility coming your way. So when you're young, when you're 15, 16, you really shouldn't have that much responsibility. So for sure. That's like something I would say, like, I should have, like, if I could go back, I would tell my younger...
bit like the careless life, I think.
Yeah, I would tell my younger self to be like, party and relax and chill, because there is so much responsibility coming later. You can just relax. But like on the other hand, I mean, I feel like we had to like grow up very fast. That's just
but
something.
at the same time, we experienced so many
much,
great things. I mean, we traveled like everywhere, which is.
But do you think the way that you especially handle the internet and all the information that is going on, now, like you said, that you're a little socially awkward, you just text, like, do you think you do that as a way to distance yourself from all the pressure that you had as teenagers?
You do. You do. I think you do that a little bit. Yeah. I mean, I think in like the early stages of our career, we started to not like read everything every day and to read like comments under some videos or anything like that. So we were definitely trying to guard ourselves and have some distance. Even though it's hard, because I feel like that job and making music and it's so personal. You put out your personal story and your art and music and whatever you want to do. So it's always very personal. But we were always trying to like distance us a little bit and don't take things very personal. And I think we learned that super early, because I feel like with 15 there was so much hate as well on our band, which was we lost a lot of trust in that stage of our lives too. I mean, it was that we kind of like isolated us. A lot from like normal life, because we found out really early that it's you can't really trust a lot of people, and it's as soon as you say something, the next day it's in the papers and it's really big. I mean, especially when we were young, I mean, everything was such a big deal. It's crazy. Like every drink we had, every girl we fucked, I mean, like everything was such a huge deal, and so we kind of like isolated us to protect us, because I think that's something that we still kind of like have
Even though we try our best to, but that you know that's that kind of stuff that made us socially awkward a little bit, I think, because it happened so early, and that's something you can't really control.
And especially what you mentioned, like the comments, because I remember, because basically we're the same generation.
Yeah.
And I remember that there was so much completely unjustified negative backlash, like all the parody videos, and like basically before I knew Monsoon, I knew the parody video.
Yeah.
But I think you've proven basically everyone who ever hated you completely wrong, because now you're back stronger than ever. And what would you say to those people now?
I think, I don't know. I mean, I have to say that we always also enjoyed that, So I feel like I always, because I never knew it like differently. Like even in school, we had like so much trouble. Like the way I was dressing on stage, I went to school, like there were so many people like hating us, and we were always so confident. Sometimes I look back and I'm like, wow, I was 15 and I went to school like that. I wouldn't do that now. Like that's crazy. But we also enjoyed that. I also enjoyed, that people hated me, and I like to play with that also. And I think, for our career and for us as a band, it was also a good thing, because there was just so much talk about it. And for me, it was always better that people have an opinion than not talk about us at all. So it wasn't something I was forcing. It was just something naturally, like something that came naturally. What was the question?
It was like, what would you? Because it was not just like people our age. It was also like people from the industry who were saying, like, I don't even remember, like really shitty things. And like, what would you say to those people now?
It was, I think, for the second album was super important. I think there was the most pressure, and it was super important for us to prove everyone wrong. And to prove everyone, we don't just have that one song, and we're not a made-up band, and we actually can play our instruments, and we can make music. So for the second album, that was like very important for us. But I feel like we got more relaxed, the longer we lasted. So like with the third album, we were already like more relaxed because we were touring so much, and I feel like with that album, we didn't have that in our mind at all. Like we forgot about that completely, because we feel like after 10 years we didn't feel like we had to prove ourselves still, so we were just making an album we enjoy and the music we enjoy, and we completely left that behind.
You all seem really relaxed. That's really, really great. And but now we live in an age of like born this way, and individuality, and especially like somebody like you as a person who really, really expresses themselves. 10 years ago this was completely different, and now I think a lot of your character traits are really, really embraced and welcomed and celebrated. But do you think, not just you, but like as a band, do you think this enables you to be more yourself?
I always felt, for us, I think it was always about being authentic. So I never felt like I had to fit in somewhere, and I didn't even want to fit in anywhere. Like that's why I hated to go to school, and we always had our style, and it was super important that no one's talking into that. So music-wise and the way we dress and all of this, like it was super important to be free. That's why we never really had a manager telling us what to do or how to look like, or people to tell us what kind of music we have to make. So that was always important. That's why we are so different too. Like we don't tell each other what to wear. Like I never go to Gustav and be like, oh, like what are you gonna wear today? Like I don't, it's totally fine. We are just being ourselves, and that was always important for us. So we never really felt, pressure to fit in like a certain like mold or something.
But still, sometimes you just have to protect yourself, and like, how do you manage that? Like, how do you protect yourselves? Because if you put yourself out there is gonna be some negativity always, and you just have to, build up. Some people put on a mask, some people find another outlet. Like, how do you manage that?
I think, of course, there's so much negativity out there in general. I feel like it's, as you said, like it's more. I think it becomes more easy every day, and people are more open every day to individuals, and it's getting more easy to be, for a lot of people, to be themselves. But still, you have areas, and especially also internet. I mean, there's so much mobbing, so much negativity going on. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody is like commenting on every fucking video, and it's crazy. So I think in general, like what Bill said, like we kind of like never had that problem, because Bill, I mean, you have no idea. Like he went to school like in an age like nobody would have done it. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, and what helped, I think, was that we were twins.
Yeah.
So for Bill and me, it was kind of like he always had the cool big brother that took care of him. So that kind of like helped for him, as that was really helpful for him as well. No, but seriously, it's like we were together. So it was always two of us. We always had like, outside we always had the same opinion. We were strong two persons. Like even if we wouldn't have any friends, we would be still two people. So that really helps. I can't even imagine how it is and how we would be as individuals if we wouldn't have each other. So it's hard to tell for us. I think it was really helpful and kind of easy together. Like we were really strong.
Yeah, I think that is the protection we have.
Yeah.
That that you never go alone anywhere. So I was never scared of people or people's reaction, because I knew I have someone with me. And even when we were together, we were playing live in small little clubs, and we were never scared of the audience, because it was just the four of us. We were never alone. And I know.
And trust me, we had negative experiences also with the audience and everywhere. I mean, even when we played in our hometown and we just started as a band, we were the youngest band everywhere. We
got bottles and eggs
we were the 10-year-old kids on the stage, and we were playing with bands, and they were all like 25 to 30 years old, and we were playing that we were 10 years old, and everybody hated us. I mean, everybody was like, people would laugh and stuff like that, but we were always like so confident, because we were like, four guys, and it was easy for us, and we always had kind of like the people that hated us and loved us at the same time. I don't know how it would be if you only have the people that hate you. That's maybe something different. You always need love
you need the balance.
I mean, of course. I mean, you had so many fans as well. And that leads me to my next question, especially what you said, like the always sticking together, the protecting each other, and the doing what you want no matter what. I think this has helped the image of your band to become such a beacon of hope for people who were bullied, for people who went to school dressed differently than anybody else. And are you proud of that? Like, do you really feel like that you've influenced a generation? Because you have.
Like whenever I see that, even today, I feel like now that like we get like a little older, I feel like we realize that more than I did when I was like a teenager. Because I just dressed myself as I wanted to. Like I didn't even know that I have like any influence on anyone. But today, like when I see people and they come to me and they're like, oh, I love your style, and and I'm able to style myself like I want to because I'm looking at you and you make me so confident, and like it's so sweet and so cute. I feel like it's just the sweetest thing when someone tells you, you influence them or you inspire them, because that's what we want to do. Like you make music and you do your things, and if people come and they're like inspired, from you, and then they're fulfilling their dreams and what they want to do, that's the best thing that can happen. And it's very cute. Like at the Love Loves You Back video shoot, I remember we had like there were a lot of like people there, and I didn't even know some of them were fans, and then they came to me in the break and they're like, oh Bill, like you're so important to us, and I dressed myself and I started to make music and sing and paint because of you, and that's just so sweet and so touching. It's like the best thing that someone can tell you. That's the best compliment you can get.
But but at the same time, you can't reach everybody.
Yeah.
And does it ever annoy you or hurt you that that somewhere out there is a Tokio Hotel fan who needs your help, you know what I mean? But you can't reach them and they can't reach you. Do you feel that disconnect sometimes?
Yeah, it's just sometimes I think about that what I have trouble with sometimes is that I think about that I make people sad too, because sometimes you make them sad. You know, there are some people that like they want to meet you so bad, and they love you for so long, and then they never have the chance to actually see you or talk to you, and it makes them sad. And then sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't want to break anyone's heart, you know. It's like, and then I'm like, oh, I don't want to do that, and that's hard sometimes, you know. Or sometimes people come and they cry and they only have like 2 minutes because you have to leave, and that's really touching too. Yeah, it takes a lot of energy. Yeah.
And now from the kind of deep to the little bit superficial, the LA stereotype of like the health-obsessed vegan, green drinking person. Like, can you confirm that stereotype?
100%. In LA, it's, everything is about, you know, working out, living a healthy life, you know, get the best food, eat, you know, everything that's organic. And
I feel like in LA, I feel like a junkie from Europe because we are so unhealthy and because we smoke too many cigarettes and we drink too much and we don't work out and we
fast food.
So it's like we're like and we only like we get up late and we are up during the night and people go to bed early and it's such an early city. Everyone wakes up at 6 or 7 and they work out and they get a fancy drink and it's like and I don't do that at all. So we really stick out. Like we're totally Europeans. It's like way different than what they do there.
Yeah, but you know, Berlin is the complete opposite.
Yeah,
that's what I love about it.
It's completely different. So, could you consider like moving to Berlin someday?
I would. I mean, every time I'm here, I always say I would totally live here. It's just the life wouldn't be that easy. That's the only thing, you know. So, but like coming here and spending time here.
I want to get a place in Berlin just to have it and have something to go back to and I think Berlin is like the city for us in Germany. Like I want to have something in Berlin and but still maybe like, you know, have something in LA and just, you know, be there and
I feel like now that we don't live here anymore in Germany, I can appreciate it much more.
Yeah, me too.
Than, you know, because I feel like when you visit places you always see the good sides and the fun part, and then, you know, when you don't live there. So we definitely love to spend time here and spend more time here, yeah.
And what other places do you love in Europe? I mean, you had that huge concert at the Eiffel Tower, and I mean, for you with the fashion, you must love Paris, right?
I love Paris. Paris is so beautiful. I want to live there as well. Like I want to live in every city just to try it out for a little bit. So. Paris definitely. I love Rome and Milan.
Oh,
Italy's great.
I like Barcelona too. Barcelona and Madrid. I mean, they're beautiful cities too. I don't know. I like a lot of cities in Europe. It's crazy. I don't know.
But did you ever, when you lived in California, you know, I think still at heart, I mean, you were all born in Germany and you know the German way and the German mentality. And did that sometimes clash with the American mentality? Because, you know, you're not, I think in Germany it's not really common that you go into a store and everybody's like, oh my god, hey guys. In LA it's just like that. Was that weird?
It's a little weird because I mean, LA is such a fake city in a lot of ways. So it can be very fake and you have a lot of fake people. I mean, you have them everywhere, so you kind of have to watch out. But LA really sticks out with that, I feel like. So, and it's a beautiful city too. I enjoy it a lot. I love the city. I love the nightlife. But there are definitely downsides. I feel like you only realize that when you live there. So, but it's definitely like sometimes we definitely stick out as like Germans. Like we are never too late, even in LA traffic. You know, we are so reliable, and like that's like a typical German thing. But that's why I feel like a lot of Americans and people in LA love Germans. In every hotel you have a German manager, and in every good restaurant you have a German manager. So, because you know, Germans are very strict. And
my main goal in life is like I want to have my own country. So I want to. I just want to make my own country.
What's the name for it?
I don't know.
You want to create the perfect kind. I want to create like the perfect city. That would be enough for me. Like I want to.
I want to have a country, and then just, you know, make it perfect. Like have, you know, like take the best from every place. And
I just saw this picture of this island which looks like a penis.
That would be great.
That would be great for you, huh?
Yeah.
Tom Kingdom or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, now you're going on a big tour, and as you said, your fans are so important to you. Like, do you have a message for out there, everybody watching, and maybe something you haven't said before?
I think with that tour, we're just hoping to have the best and the most amazing time, and also inspire again, because we put a lot of thought and heart into preparing this show and preparing the whole concept, and it's really like we are making this tour because of the demand, I feel like, because a lot of people wanted us to play in smaller venues and create something new and do something we haven't done before. So we just hope to have the best time ever with them, and we can't wait to actually see everyone live again, like when we are on stage and they're watching, because we haven't done that in a long time. So we're glad to be back. We're glad to be back, and we're just so grateful we can still do that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. Pombi, was machst du denn? Oh. Jetzt bist du ganz dreckig. Ja, ich habe überall Haare und jetzt haben wir keine Versuche.